If you were to poll our planning and concierge team as to the most frequently asked questions they receive ahead of an expedition, caddies would be at or near the top of the list. The uncertainty on the topic is pretty understandable, given that on this side of the Atlantic, most of us traverse the course behind the wheel of a golf cart, what they call a buggy on the other side of the pond. And yet, this is one topic that we wouldn't suggest figuring out on the fly once you're overseas, because nothing will have a more lasting and memorable impact on your trip, perhaps more than your experience with the caddies. So here's 6 of the most frequently asked questions, as well as 3 additional tips related to caddies for your upcoming trip. So the first question is, should I take a caddy at all during my trip? And the answer is, it kind of depends. If this is your first trip, and you're playing someplace like the Old Course or Royal County Down or Royal Port Rush or really anything else that happens to be on your bucket list, and it's going to be your one and only time through, you don't want to play the course armed with nothing more than the course guide. The investment of the caddy not only is going to enhance your experience just in terms of the enjoyment of the round, but your scorecard is sure to thank you for it as well. But this leads to another question of, do I need a caddy for every round during my trip? Again, it sort of depends, but if you've played the courses before, or if maybe it's an additional round that you've added on, taken advantage of some extra daylight, then by all means, get yourself a trolley and enjoy the stroll and save a few pounds in the process. But if it's a one-time deal and you want to make the most of the experience, again, a caddy is worth the investment. Number 3 is, how much should I tip my caddy? Like gratuity on this side of the pond, it's entirely up to your discretion, but the guideline issued by the clubs is typically the caddy fee plus an additional 20 or 30 pounds or euros, depending upon where you're playing, that you're going to pay directly to the caddy. This ties into probably the most important topic related to caddies for your upcoming trip. They're typically independent contractors or even members of the club itself. You're going to be paying them directly at the end of your round in cash, and it must be in local currency, pounds or euros. Your US dollars, we cannot stress this enough, are absolutely worthless to them. So save yourself some trouble. Hit the ATM machine on the way to the course. Another common question is, are caddies guaranteed? And the short answer is no, they're not. Because they're independent contractors or members of the club, sometimes the caddy master just finds themselves shorthanded, and so caddies will either carry double, or in rare cases, 1 4-caddy may be assigned for the entire group. But the vast majority of the time, the caddy that you've requested will be there on the first tee waiting for you when you arrive. And speaking of carrying double, we're sometimes asked if caddies can be requested to carry double in order to save a little money. Although the option of single or double bag caddy is common on our side of the pond, overseas, that decision is at the sole discretion of the club. In Ireland, you're likely to encounter a double bag caddy just because there's fewer to go around, but the option of single versus double is not typically one that's afforded to the player. If you've requested a caddy and a single caddy is available, you should be prepared to take it. The last of our most frequently asked questions is, what if I want to take a buggy? The sight of a golf cart on a links course across the pond is as rare as a birdie on the road hole. Golfers are basically required to either walk with a caddy, walk with a trolley, or carry their own bag. There are a few exceptions to this rule, but they generally require documentation of a condition from your doctor. And even then, because of the sensitivity of the environment around the courses, you're often going to be required to hire a 4-caddy to handle the driving. So those are 6 of the most frequently asked questions related to caddies, but here's 3 additional tips to tuck in the back of your mind. Number 1, the most senior caddies get to pick the bags first. What this means? The player with the lightest bag generally gets the best caddy, so leave your staff bag at home. Number 2, prepare your body. Walking a links golf course every day for a week is not something that we generally do, so prepare yourself. Take some long walks, because in the course of a week, with or without a caddy, you can easily rack up 50 or more miles walking the courses. And number 3 is, don't be afraid to ask for photos. The caddies are absolutely used to it. They might give you a hard time about it, but they're used to it. We all walk around with cameras in our pocket, and there would be nothing worse than getting to the end of your round at the Old Course and not having a single photo of yourself to show for it. So there you have it, 6 of the most frequently asked questions, as well as a few additional tips related to caddies for your upcoming trip. Yes, caddies are probably going to put a little extra dent in your overall trip budget, but in the end, the memories they're going to help you make along the way are worth every single penny.